Clever girl.
Son of a bitch. If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch terrible movies so you don't have to, but you probably should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
God. If you listened to last week's trailer trash and you know what you're in for, maybe not. But for those of you that didn't, shame on you. But Jared, let's give everyone like a quick recap. What are we doing to ourselves this week?
Lavalantula.
I can't believe you gave.
I'm sorry. It's a quote from this movie. Everyone knows that quote is originally from this movie.
That's good. You got me.
As a reminder, this movie was volcanic eruptions in Los Angeles unleash a swarm of gigantic lava-breathing tarantulas. It's very self-explanatory.
Yeah, and by the way, not Hawaii.
Not Hawaii. Yeah, very clear from the description, not Hawaii.
And by the way, Anne was in the description, I think, in the trailer trash, but you were convinced we were in Hawaii still.
Yes.
Maybe
I'm
we
still
will be.
convinced.
Who knows? Maybe we are.
No, this is the WYSIWYG of movies. I see lava tarantulas, Lavalantula. Makes perfect sense.
Done. That's what's happening. So watch the trailer. I think we both had completely different expectations from the trailer.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think my expectations were spot on. This movie sucks.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying, Jesus, are you listening to me?
No.
Or here we go. 2 minutes in. Here we go. Not even listen.
Just like the movie.
So the trailer trash, I think you were sold on this is going to be an absolutely terrible movie.
Yes.
I was sold on yes, but it's going to be like square in the B movie range, kind of making fun of itself, very self-aware type of thing. But I think it's going to be, I wouldn't say terribly bad, but I think it's still going to be, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
It was worse. Yeah. It was worse than my bad expectations.
Yeah. And it was bad. So we're still good. We have not seen a good movie yet.
No, go watch Last Days of American Crime if you're looking for.
And then you wonder why there's so many downloads on that.
Yeah, if you're looking for a bad movie to go watch that one instead. This one, not worth your time.
Just don't listen to that episode because that's like probably our worst one.
Yeah. Do you want to see Police Academy 8? Because that's what you get.
So quick info on this one. So it's directed by Mike Mendez, who's done a handful of things, mostly in kind of in this B movie range. He's did Big Spider, which was, I read an interview where he's like, oh man, they approached me to do this movie and I don't want to be, pigeonholed into the spider guy. Well,
I think that ship has sailed.
Well, Mike, you're making movies. So, hey,
No. This one's totally different. It's about lava tarantulas.
Much different.
Nothing to do with spiders.
We had 3 writers on this one again.
Somehow baffling.
It's like, I don't know.
3 people said this was good. 3 people agreed and were like, oh, you know what? Nice work, guys.
So Neil Ellman, Mike Mendez, the director, and then Ashley O'Neil. I actually did not look up anything what they've done before. I kind of just
don't bother.
I'm
assuming their other credits include To Lava, To Lantula.
Yes, they do actually.
So
actually, different director.
Oh, but they brought Mike Mendez back to write it.
I think so. I don't remember. I forgot.
Yep,
it's right there, but I'm not clicking on it. So now who's in this B movie catastrophe here? Steve Guttenberg.
Yep.
The Goots.
The Police Academy guy.
The Police Academy guy.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him in a long time.
Nope.
Probably not since Look Who's Talking. Three guys and a lady.
Oh, 2 men and a baby.
Well, yeah, but then then there was a sequel to that.
Three Wise Men.
Jesus. Oh my God. Okay. We'll move.
This is everyone's favorite part of the podcast when Russ and I can't remember something. dear listener, please let us know your favorite time that Russ and I couldn't remember something.
Oh my God. So we got the Goots. You'll probably hear that a lot.
Yeah. Miracle on Ice.
Gootsy. Nia Peeples.
I'm not familiar. She looks really familiar, but I don't know what she's from.
I think her and the Goots there were in a Disney movie together, but she was in a ton of like TV. She's done a ton of TV since the 80s.
Okay, that makes sense.
So ran all sorts of shows. So then we get Patrick Renna, who is
which one was that?
Patrick Renna is Sandlot kid.
Oh, knockoff Jonah Hill.
yes.
Gotcha.
Even though I think he came first.
Oh, definitely, yeah, but he's not as good. He's not as good, and he knows it. Yeah. Patrick Renna, if you want to be on the podcast, fuck you, and send us an email. That's his tradition.
And then to round out the core of the cast here, we've got the Police Academy reunion here. So it's Michael Winslow, Marion Ramsey, and then Leslie Easterbrook. So.
Yep. I was too excited for Michael Winslow in this movie, and I was hugely let down.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty pumped about it. And then, I don't know, he delivered what I think I was expecting him to deliver.
Oh.
Yeah. Sadness.
Oh.
Usually we do production and box office numbers. I couldn't find anything about this movie.
There's no way to know.
Yeah.
It's a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah.
Right, which we established. What is this movie rated? Do we know? It's not even TVMA, right?
No, it's TV 14.
Okay. Because they, in the movie, I think I brought this up in Trailer Trash when I was like confused about what this movie is rated. There seems like the violence is odd, and it's because it has to be because of censorship.
Fucking
because of
censorship.
Yeah.
Because of TV.
Yeah.
Well, because it is a sci-fi, original, right?
Right.
And it falls in the whole their B-movie ridiculous movies that they've been doing, Sharknado kind of category, right?
Right. And I think this opens up a whole new world for us, because now that we've breached Lavalantula, I think our next step is probably Transmorphers, right? I talked about Transmorphers before. You've never seen it. I would gladly watch it again.
We'll dive into it. Maybe we'll see if listeners want to vote for if we should watch that or not next. But
yeah. Ooh, yeah, we could do a little poll.
Yeah, we'll see. Check out our social media.
Sure.
Well,
who's Leslie Easterbrook?
Leslie Easterbrook
Is that Police Academy?
Yes.
Also? Okay.
Yeah. She played Sergeant Callahan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hollywood pitch. What do you got for me?
Okay. This one, I feel like we got to go straightforward, right? There's no beating around the bush here. It's very clearly Arachnophobia meets Dante's Peak. Now,
do you need to explain that one?
I mean, no, I don't think I do, but I'm going to anyway. So actually, I've got a story for each of these, and they're both, this is a big sentimental, what's the word I'm looking for? Nostalgia play for me here.
Okay.
Arachnophobia, I remember we were kids. So Arachnophobia came out in 1990, right? John Goodman.
Yeah.
Other people.
Jeff Daniels.
Ooh, yeah, maybe. Anyway, that movie's about spiders, clearly. And my sister, avid It's This Meets That listener, Elizabeth.
I thought you were to say avid spider fan. I was like,
no.
Who's a fan of spiders?
Avid spider enemy.
Yeah, I'm on board.
She hates spiders more than I think anyone I know, other than maybe you.
I'm probably right up there with her. I'm not a fan. I kill every single one of them I see. I know. But,
oh boy. Yeah. Send us an email about that.
Oh,
yeah. They're good for the environment, Russ. Elizabeth, terrified of spiders. And I remember we were up in New Hampshire at Thanksgiving one year with my parents and my aunt, and a couple of my cousins, whoever. And we were watching Arachnophobia after Thanksgiving dinner. And for some reason it was on TV. So it came out in 1990. Yep. It was probably on TV in the late 90s, which is when we're up there.
Yep.
And she freaked out, like locked herself in the bathroom, ran away from the situation because it was so scary. And it is, to be fair, it is scary. I hate the spiders in Arachnophobia are very realistic.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not like this movie at all. We're about to go through.
No. For being 1990, I feel like the effects were great. The spiders were terrifying, but anyway, every time I think it's a spider movie, this is the first spider movie that comes to mind for me, without a doubt.
Yes.
And then on the Dante's Peak side of things, I I watched this in school.
What?
In like 6th grade science class. They're like, all right, kids, it's time to learn about volcanoes.
So they put on Dante's Peak, Pierce
they put on
Brosnan, Dante's Peak,
Yeah.
James Bond versus Volcano.
Yep. Shout out to Hampstead Middle School. I feel like I had a good quality education, but also they made us watch Dante's Peak in 6th grade. It was funny.
That's a hungover science teacher right there. It's like, yeah, geez.
Right. And she'd pause the movie and be like, yeah, see how these people are like melting in this acid pool. Like that actually happens. Like around when a volcano is erupting, like oftentimes the water table around it will get drastically more acidic. And
yeah.
I was like, okay, I am learning a little bit of science, sure. But yeah, I love Dante's. It's my favorite volcano movie.
You mentioned that.
I've seen it a bunch, too many times in science class, several years in a row.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Never got that.
Yeah.
Never got that in science.
Ties to this movie perfectly.
I love it.
Well, you were out of 6th grade by the time Dante's Peak came out, I think, right?
Yeah. I had already moved on and been like,
what do you got?
Mine's I don't know, not totally on point, but I went with Return of the King meets Volcano. Now Volcano.
We do Return of the King a lot.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of that. Mostly because like the big spider there, Shelob, I believe is how it's pronounced. Yep. I'm gonna throw it out there. This might get me shut down, but I am not a big Lord of the Rings fan.
What? How?
This is just where life has put me, man.
Have you read the books?
No.
Oh, that's why. You got to read the books.
You
like to read?
I do.
A supposed novelist.
I'm a big reader. I like reading. Maybe I'll give him a chance. I don't know. I have a thing with Peter Jackson. Not a big fan. I don't know. Whatever. It's a thing.
Yeah, you can't judge Lord of the Rings by the movies. Read the books first, and then the movies are impressive. You're like, wow, they actually did a pretty good job with these. But if you start with the books, you have a great appreciation for the source material.
That's what I hear. I think I vaguely remember, maybe I don't think I read The Hobbit, but I did. When I saw The Hobbit in the theater, I was really angry because the way it ends, I was like,
oh, The Hobbit's trash. Yeah.
Garbage. Absolute garbage.
The book is fantastic. The movie's trash. Yeah.
Pissed. But I went with that because as little I do know enough about Lord of the Rings, and
there's a spider. Yeah.
I've seen all the movies, so there's a big spider.
Mm-hmm.
And then meets Volcano, which is Dante's Peak light or better. I'm not sure.
Worse for sure. You can't beat Dante's Peak.
Volcano is the Tommy Lee Jones action versus nature flick where Volcano is going off in LA, not Hawaii.
Yeah, which I do love Tommy Lee Jones, but
can't go wrong.
Yeah, all right. That's a good one.
It's pretty good, right?
Is it Return of the King also because of the slog? This is like the longest hour and 23 minutes I've ever sat through.
I didn't think about that, but that's a good addition to why I picked that. Sure, we'll take that. I'll take that. I'll consume that onto my description.
Yeah, Return of the King's a good 4 hours.
It's like, come on, cut some fat here. Do I need to watch?
Yep.
Do I need to watch them doing their dishes for a song? Come on.
It's important.
No, it's not at all. Cut that out. Let's move on.
It's called world building, Russ.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. World building. Yeah. We're going to do an activity that you do at home anyways. Great. That's what I want to, that's why I go to the movie theater to watch people do dishes.
Escape to see other people do dishes that I don't have to.
It makes you feel better, right?
It is a fantasy. Yeah.
All right. So that's the Hollywood pitches. Fast facts?
Fast facts. Let's do it. You pulled most of these, so I'll let you run the show here.
I did. I'll kick it off here. So apparently, Goots here, Steve Guttenberg there.
I like your spelling of Goots is different than my spelling of Goots.
Yeah,
I also wrote Goots throughout my notes.
I did,
but
too.
I went Goots like glutes.
Yeah, I went Goots like roots, but with a G.
Interesting choices.
That New Hampshire education.
Yeah, mine is closer to his name. Yeah, you're right. You learned in weird Connecticut where they do things phonetically.
Yes, Goots.
Yeah, mine's spelled like Steve Guttenberg.
Which that's not funny. That's not good. That's not cool. You give someone a nickname, it's not like, I don't know, Goots. Oh, let me call you Guttes. Come on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, get out of here with that. Goots.
Yeah, weird. It's like his name.
It's cooler. It's way cooler. Goots. Goots. Come on, Goots.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Anyways. Apparently, the producers of this movie told Goots that he can invite any of his past colleagues to appear in the movie.
Oh boy.
Now, this one I take a little bit of grain of salt because then he invited all of his Police Academy buds and Nia Peeples. So pretty much the entire cast of the movie he invited to be part of this movie.
So the whole movie, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, right? I mean, that's like 90% of the cast.
Okay.
And Patrick Renna, right? And Patrick Renna too, because they had done a movie together as well.
Right. Which, I don't know. I mean, Patrick Renna was good in this, but I wanted him to be more.
I did too. I was hoping for a little more from him too, but
kind of disappointed.
Yeah. Can you imagine being in a barbecue with like those are his friends? Like that's his crew. It's just like Guttenberg and the Police Academy cast. There's Winslow in the corner making like fire noises and barbecue noises, and then
that would be pretty cool, I guess.
Patrick Renna hanging out. We're just like, yeah.
I don't think I'm interested. I don't want to be at that party.
You don't want to be invited to that? No. Would you show up late at least or no?
Yeah.
Would you show up with like a 2-pack of beer and then like drink those and be like, oh, I'm all out of beer, I gotta go.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I haven't done that in a darn time.
It's been a long time since you could just scoot out of a party, right?
Yep.
Moving on with fast facts. I'll keep going here.
Plow through.
This is I really like this one. I didn't catch this one. So there's a scene. We could have saved it, but whatever. There's a quick nod in the movie where Colton, that's Steve Guttenberg's character's name.
Sure.
Chris, that's Patrick Renna, and then there's a character called Pirate Jack.
Well, his name's Dave.
Well, his name is Dave, but whatever. It's Pirate Jack. So the three of them are driving in a car, and Jack, the pirate, yells out or says, I totally missed this. He says, "Oh, they took out the Blue Oyster. I love that place." Apparently that was a reference to the infamous gay bar found in the Police Academy movies.
Interesting.
It was called the Blue Oyster.
I had no idea. I remember that part very vividly.
I do too. I remember like the line in the movie, but I didn't put it together.
I was just like, oh, great, good throwaway.
This movie has a lot of little nods to other movies in it, which we'll call it as we're going through them.
Clever girl.
Gutenberg apparently accepted this role because I didn't know this. He was offered the Sharknado lead role.
Oh, what a dummy! This one sucks.
And he regrets turning down that role.
I've never seen Sharknado. Have you?
No.
Okay. Good. Let's get that out in the open now.
Yeah, let's just make sure we're on the same page. We have not seen it.
Yep, confirmed. So everything that we say about it is probably a lie.
Yes. And there's probably people out there who absolutely love that movie to a point where it's not okay. And hey,
this is like the spoiler warning. Spoilers ahead. Also, we don't know anything about Sharknado.
No, there's sharks. It's a tornado.
Assuming it's
Zeering, and yeah, that's it. So
I thought it was NATO, like
NATO.
Yeah,
the gathering of
right, but with sharks. Oh, okay. Well, that puts things in perspective, I guess. Less anti-Soviet than I thought. Okay, sure.
And then the last fast fact I hear, which really isn't a fast fact, but I think we could talk about it now, right? We brought this up in the trailer trash. So Ian Ziering, who is the lead in Sharknado,
you say Ian Ziering like I know who that is.
What? You don't know who Ian Ziering is?
No, I have no idea who Ian Ziering is.
90210? You kidding me?
I don't watch 902. I'm not from the 80s, Russ.
It was in the 90s. You're.
I know, but you were old enough to appreciate it then.
What's wrong with you? So he shows up in this movie Lavalantula we talked about in the trailer trash, but he is his character from Sharknado,
right? Which neither one of us got. Again, I assumed he was an anti-Soviet operative.
I got it because I knew he was in Sharknado, but I was like, oh, so that means there's shark tornadoes and lavalantulas all in the same universe that is this planet.
Yeah, pretty bizarre.
A little bit. So that's it for Fast Facts. All right, so we're gonna get into this from this point on. Mega spoilers for Lavalantula. Just a heads up, if that matters to you. It shouldn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. Don't watch this movie.
Yeah.
if that isn't abundantly clear already, like don't, seriously.
But keep listening, but don't watch it.
Right.
Right. So it opens up. I kind of like it goes right into it. We get Cinetel Films, right?
Who were brought to you by IMDb TV.
Oh, did you?
It's the first credit.
I guess that's true. I skipped over that.
So I don't know anything about IMDb TV. Do you?
I didn't either, but it's part of. I mean, it's all Amazon Prime. So it's like,
is it? I thought it was like their own streaming service or something that's separate. Because
IMDb is owned by Amazon,
right? But I thought they're doing what, Viacom's doing their thing with Peacock separate or whatever. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and this is just
okay.
I think this is just Amazon doing Amazon Prime TV, but without.
Interesting. Okay.
Amazon Prime,
but for movies.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's a random bunch of movies that they have like listed on IMDb that you can just watch for free, given with a few ads.
Oh, we should, Amazon pay us like at least a couple of quarters for that, right?
Seriously, that's a pretty good.
We've been talking about them for 2 minutes now.
Yeah, Jesus. All right, let's move on. Already moving on.
Yeah, my bad. So yeah, then it's FilmRise, Cinetel.
Cinetel, who were familiar, right? Cinetel, they did
Kill Chain.
Yep, and a whole host of other movies, which we're going to dive into at some point, I think.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But then it goes right into, there's a watch ticking.
Yeah. What happened to Alchemy, by the way? Because they were in the trailer.
They were. They disappeared on like the open. Yeah. Well, they gave less money. They get less. Recognition. That's how it works.
They don't get in the actual movie.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Your Kickstarter level is mention only.
This is where you're at.
Yeah.
So then we got a ticking watch, and then we got the title right into it. Lavalantula. We're in. Boom.
Yep.
And then we're immediately into like a torture scene. We get Goots there, tied to a chair. He's got some
vaguely foreign guy.
What's the shirt he's wearing that I can't call it what I call it because it's not correct anymore.
Tank top?
Thank you. Tank top, yeah.
Yep. Sleeveless shirt.
Yes, a white tank top that is not worn by... Anyways, so...
Russ.
So he's tied to a chair. He's getting beat up, tortured here, punched in the face, blah, 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 right? Clearly this is like he's on a movie set, right?
Right. I mean, we read the description, so we know that...
Yes.
We know there's lava tarantulas.
Yes. Yes.
And from the trailer, we know that he's an actor. Yeah.
Yes. So we know he's a 90s action star who's kind of over his, toward the end of his career there. Yep. So he's just getting beat up, punched multiple times in the face. Pretty, standard 90s film action torture scene.
And this is when we get his first catchphrase introduction, which I love the catchphrase of his character.
Oh, yes.
So he's getting tortured, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'll get these guys. They're like, any last words? He goes, nice leg. And then like kicks the guy in the leg.
Just like collapses his leg.
Yeah. And then immediately beats them all up and says, sayonara, amigos, which I love. Way to mix Japanese and Spanish. And then we're getting some sound effects because we get like a little Michael Winslow right then.
Yeah, well, as soon as he says that, like he gets like sprayed in the face with some like special effects and then like he knocks over the set and all of a sudden, okay, yeah, we're on a set. Okay, yeah, here we are.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I wanted this movie to be that movie that they were filming.
Yeah, same. Well, no, because then it would have been Robot Riot at that point, right? Or not Robot Riot, Alien Warfare.
Alien Warfare.
Like, oh, okay, no, they're in vaguely foreign place with
oh right, yeah,
terrorists of some kind.
Right. Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah. We're headed there quick.
Yeah. At least the lavalantulas are politically,
well,
neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some say it's a metaphor, Russ.
That's a good point.
This movie's a lot smarter than you think.
Oh my God. So yeah, then we get him kind of just complaining about, being on the set, blah, blah, blah. And then we got the Police Academy reunion here. We got Michael Winslow and Marion Ramsey, the special effects team, right?
Ugh. Yes.
I was actually hoping that they were. I was hoping like they would be involved in the movie for like the rest of the movie. But
I know, yeah, and that's why I hate this part, because it's like, oh, way to tease it at the beginning. They're in it for 2 solid seconds. It's like not again until 50 minutes later.
Yeah, and then they're in like the last 10 minutes, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But I was kind of on board at this point, though. I'll be honest, I was on board at this point. I was like,
it fooled you.
It fooled me quickly.
And you get a good walk and talk, right?
Walk and talk with the director, and this movie is unbelievably meta.
Yes.
Get that out of the way right now, right? Like it is.
Well,
it's extremely meta, right? Like
you're giving the movie too much credit.
Am I?
Yes, because it has. When you say unbelievably meta, it's got maybe count them all, like 7 or 8 lines that are like, oh, that's smart, and the rest of it is awful.
Well, yeah, but it plays on that throughout the entire movie, though. Kind of. I'm not saying that in a good way. I'm not saying that's a good thing. Like I'm saying,
I want it to be smart.
All right. Within the first 5 minutes of the movie, it is heavily like a lot of meta going on, right? He's a 90s action star who's complaining about being in a bug movie.
Yes. No, yes, exactly.
A fake bug movie. Okay. So right off the bat, we got that, right? So, okay.
Yep. I hate it.
Yes. He's not a team player. He's living in the past. They make even a reference about a stupid cop movie from 25 years ago.
Right. Which
they call it Cop Clowns.
Yes, I do.
The director's like, yeah, man, this isn't 25 years anymore. It was like 25 years ago, you had Cop Clowns. Yeah, it's like, oh, Police Academy. Got it. Like,
also, this is the first time it occurred to me. Has Goots turned into a bad actor? Like, is he not good at acting anymore?
I don't think he ever was. I mean, Cocoon was pretty solid. He was pretty good in Cocoon.
I feel like he could, even thinking about like Police Academy, I think he could deliver the lines.
I think 80s acting is much different than now time acting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, okay. I think there's a whole different thing for acting in the 80s.
Huh. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Maybe. Yeah, it just wasn't convincing to me. Like all of the lines he was saying, I was like, oh, this isn't like, there's a couple of, like you said, clever, self-aware lines that are kind of like throwaways. Yeah. And then the rest of the dialogue is trash.
Yeah, I mean, it's a B movie.
Right.
Now I feel like I have to defend this movie. And I don't think I want to, but now I feel like I got to defend it.
I think you're going to be on defense here most of the time.
I think this is it. Fine, let's do it. Let's fucking square off in this one. I'll defend it. Fine. Even if I don't want to.
And like, so this is another thing that drove me nuts. Then at the end of this walk and talk, the director here talks about how he's only making this movie as a favor to Arnie. I thought that was a good shout out to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I thought it was too.
And then I think upset immediately.
I think that was what they were trying to go for.
Really? Then why have a character named Arnie? Then why make a character that's Arnie?
I don't know. So he basically Colton Lee is Colton is Goots' character's name in the movie. Colton West. Solid action movie name, right?
Sure.
He leaves. Director's like, dude, you're fired. Like, you can't just leave. You got to get this done, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
He's like, I got to go home. I got to see my family, see my kid. And then we cut to pretty much like the opening of the trailer. Pretty much, he's just in LA traffic. Am I right?
Yeah. And then this is when he's on the phone with Arnie, who we've come to find out is a real person.
Is his agent?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not the governor. He is his agent.
Arnie talking about how he's got to be a mensch and he's got to do the thing. Like sometimes you just got to work, right?
Man.
Trying to tell him Goots has got to eat.
Goots got to eat too, man.
And I love this was almost the quote this is the other quote I was going to pick. That's actually from this movie when Goots is like, nobody's more menschy than me. You know that.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I like that line.
I mean, and going back to the meta thing, I mean, this whole opening, even just his character alone is pretty much like, I mean, you know this, but it's just him making fun of pretty much all the movies we've watched already.
Yes, for sure. But I don't think it's doing a good job of making fun of them.
I mean, it could definitely make fun of them harder, but I don't know. It's
that's fair.
They deserve it.
True. And then we see Arnie, who's that guy who I recognize from other things. He's in all kinds of stuff. I can't remember his name.
Keep going. You'll get it.
Arnie,
You'll get it.
Yeah, Danny Woodburn, right? Yeah, I feel like he's in a bunch of stuff. Everyone in this movie's in a bunch of stuff. It's all like, oh, that's like knockoff Jonah Hill. Oh, that's like knockoff whoever. Everyone's a knockoff of someone else that's like a famous actor in this movie. You're like, oh, Steve Guttenberg's kind of like a knockoff Bill Murray. Like if Bill Murray wasn't funny or successful, he'd be Steve Guttenberg. Right? Is that
pretty
right?
It's like, I recognize like he's been in a lot of stuff. Yep. All right, moving on.
Yeah, Danny Woodburn.
Yeah, everything. I think he was in Get Shorty, I think.
Get Shorty?
Pretty sure he was. So he's in the car in traffic in LA. Has a chat with Arnie, has a chat with his wife. So we get an establishment. He's got a wife and who is Nia Peeples.
Who I don't recognize. What's she from again? Did we talk about this already?
Yeah, she's just from a bunch of TV shows, stuff like that. Yeah. She's been in like a ton of stuff that you and I don't watch really.
Oh, here's a cut for you because I'm still upset about it. Mm-hmm. Danny Woodburn in Jingle All the Way, starring Arnie.
And one of my favorite comedians of all time, Sinbad. Boom, bringing it back.
I know. I love that movie in general, but
yeah, it's a good movie. I don't know.
Yeah,
that movie will never end up on this podcast.
No, definitely not. I had to figure out where that guy was from. That's where I know him from.
Is he from Get Shorty too?
I don't think so, dude.
Oh, I have to cut that out.
Don't bother. He's in a couple of Ninja Turtles movies, which, sure.
Okay.
No, he's in way less than I thought he was. I was like, oh, that guy's in everything. He's in Mirror.
Don't know it.
Santa Paws 2.
Oh, deep cut. Yeah.
Santa Buddies. The Search for Santa Paws. A lot of Christmas themed movies.
Yeah, you still going on this one? Do I have to cut all this out? Probably.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Okay, we're moving on. So he has a chat with his wife on the phone, and we find out he's got an angsty teen. They're supposed to go to a baseball game. Right. You get the great line of like, "Oh, we're gonna be running late," and he drops a great line of.
This is Los Angeles. Nobody gets there before the fourth inning. Everybody knows that. Sure. Which I actually do appreciate. I don't know, like you're a baseball fan, kind of, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't consider myself a baseball fan, but I've been to a lot of baseball games, and you definitely, when I was a kid, you're like, oh, I'll show up at the start of the game. I want all the pomp and circumstance at the beginning of the game. I want
to get your hot dog, get your soda, get your beer, whatever. Yeah.
First pitch, you get the national anthem, all the stuff.
Yep.
As I grew older and the more games I went to, I was like, oh, this isn't special. I want to show up at the fourth inning after I've had a few cheap beers.
Yep.
Then I can come into the stadium.
Yep.
Oh, this is a way better way to do Fenway. The seats are already so uncomfortable. I don't want to sit there any longer than I have to.
Yeah, you watch the first 3 innings at a bar, and then you go to the game. You watch maybe 3 or 4 innings there, and then
4 through 7.
Yeah, and then you leave, and you hop on the tee before it gets crazy from everyone coming out of the game, and then you go to another bar locally to watch the rest of the game.
Exactly.
That's how you do baseball.
We figured it out.
And I love baseball, but that's how you do baseball.
Yeah, and I appreciate Goots, saying it like it is.
Yeah, that's just how it is. So he's in his car. This is all going on. We get some news about, activity,
what's going on?
Earthquake activity, right, in the background, and then boom, earthquake, volcano.
Which, at this point, I'm thinking the news is going to be my favorite part of this movie.
Not sure why, but yeah, there's a lot of it actually.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
No,
but at this point, I was excited about it. So I was like, "Oh, this will be funny! Like, what a clever way to." And then it wasn't. It sucked the whole way through.
And then they get right into the action. So I remember in the trailer trash, I was like, "Man, I hope that the movie gets going as fast as the trailer did," and it didn't disappoint. So we get right into it.
And I wanted more foreplay. I was like, oh, great. Right at the point where I don't care about anything, it's going to start, everyone's dying.
I was invested, man. He's, I was into it. I understood where he was coming from. He's got a, problem with his son. He's a little angsty, he doesn't, he needs to reconnect with him, his family, I got it.
Do you have an angsty teenage son that I don't know about?
No, but you don't need that, man. Come on.
You sure?
We all have one on the inside of us.
Yeah. It's the podcast. Now's the time to bring that out.
No. So volcanoes going off. Volcano chunks. Meteor? What's a chunk that flies out of a meteor?
Let's say, Vulcan chunks.
Vulcan chunks? I don't know. What is it? Fireballs like flying out of the volcano that is in LA here. Just toasting a highway. We're getting some great fire effects, explosions.
Awful effects.
Yep. And then we get the Goots running. And here we are. We're 8 minutes in. We get our first Lavalantula, which is straight from the trailer too, right? You get him facing off.
Yeah, which the Lavalantula looks kind of cool. Like it's a head-on shot. There's like fire in its eyes. You can see it's got the appropriate amount of eyes.
All 8?
Appropriate amount of legs. Yeah. Oh, it's got everything. It's a great computer spider that looks very clearly like a computer spider.
Yes. Yeah.
But job well done. And then I appreciate Goots just runs away and doesn't warn anyone else. He's like throwing everyone else under the bus behind him. Like guys are getting lava blasted left and right around him.
Yep.
He's every man for himself, which you probably would be in that scenario.
Part of his character arc.
It's realistic.
Part of his character arc. He changes. So,
well,
yeah, he does. I get it. I'm in. I got them all in defending.
Yeah, you're defending this movie. Yeah. Shit. Oh, there's an arc, you said.
There is.
Interesting.
So he gets in his car and he kind of like somehow...
A Kia? Is it a Kia?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't pick that up.
I was trying. There were a couple of times where I got a good grill shot, and I was like, "Is that a Kia?" I'm pretty
probably,
sure.
Probably was. Those are cheap, right? And he was just
cheap
like,
and great cars. Kia, if you want to sponsor us,
Jesus
email
Christ.
us.
Oh my god. So then he's like
planting the seeds.
Okay. Not for doing it for them. For free, they're like, sure, you idiots. So he does like a couple back and forth and somehow gets himself out of like 4-lane, LA traffic, and then it's just
unbelievable. There's a road.
Yeah. And then there's a road just like off to the side. Hey, whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Have you ever been on a highway where there's just a dirt road off of it? Because I haven't.
No.
Well, I have, but it's in like super backwoods Maine. It's not in LA.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. Call me crazy, but
so he's off and running, and then we get a cut from we go back to the house real quick, right? We're back at the house with the wife, and there's like another news update, right?
Right. Which this is when they're talking about, famed for some reason he's in the news because he had a scuffle at a bar earlier in the week. Red Rocket is like kind of funny, I guess, as a concept, the hero that he used to be. Yep. And I love the catchphrase is actually nice anything.
Right.
Yeah. Nice leg.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. Bring it all back. Then the reporter makes it very clear with a lot of exposition. That's when I started to hate the news, because I was like, oh, this is just an exposition vehicle. Yes. I thought it was going to be something clever.
No, it's just filling in gaps for you and kind of filling in that time.
Yeah.
So we get breaking news, volcanic activity, and this is where you were like, "Oh, are we actually in LA? Or
are there volcanoes around LA?" Yeah.
Don't think so.
I'm fairly confident there's not, right?
No, but it's a movie.
But come on. Come on. Give me at least like a...
Not everything needs to be gritty and grounded, okay, Jared?
Show me Hawaii. Give me a place that has volcanoes. Give me Yellowstone. Tell me it's a geyser that erupted or something. I don't know.
I mean, maybe there are. Maybe they're buried underground. Maybe we should have done a little more homework and seen if there's some scientific paper about volcanoes being buried underneath LA. I don't know.
Yeah. Dear listener, if you're a geologist, please send us an email. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com.
Anyways, earthquake starts again, and then we are jumped to the agent's office, right? Arnie's office.
Well, this is right after the commercials. I got commercials here because we watched it on IMDb TV.
Okay. Well, let's not do an ad for the ad that came up here.
No, I hate the ads, man.
I know they're terrible, but come on.
Okay. So we get back. Yes, you're right. We get back. We're in Arnie's office.
Yes. In Arnie's office, and it's kind of a weird. I don't know why we needed this at all.
like she shows him some footage of the Lavalantula attack, but like where did she get that footage? Because are they watching the movie with us?
Yeah, because it's just the shots right on the highway there.
It's the scene from the movie.
It's on social media. And then they leave. And I was like, oh, maybe that'll come back later. And they had a close-up shot of like his breath. I was like, what?
Nope, nothing matters. There's more earthquake. And they're like, oh, wait, the ground's shaking.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're back at home. We're back at the West home there.
Correct.
And Goots.
With Nia Peeples, right?
Yep, Nia Peeples. Goots gets home and he's in a panic, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's packing stuff. He's going crazy. He's telling her like, oh, he's actually not telling her anything. He's like not even giving her any information. It's kind of driving me nuts.
Like, the spiders.
Yeah, earthquakes. We gotta get out of here.
Volcano, spiders, explosions.
Yeah, and she's like, "Are you been drinking again? Like, what's going on here?" Which completely reasonable.
Like, why does it? But also at the same time, why doesn't she understand that lavalantulas are happening right now? Like, you would think, like, this movie came out recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what, 2015? Like, they have smartphones. They can, on my Google News feed here, it's going to come up and tell me, oh, lavalantulas attack Boston. Get out of town ASAP. Like, why doesn't she know this?
Because the power went out when the news was getting to it.
Again, but she has cell phones. Like, I don't know.
No, she checked. I'm defending this movie. I'm in defense mode now. She checks her phone, and there's all the towers were down. Remember that was a big thing about the cell towers because there's too much traffic going on phones.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Right, and the power was out, so there's no Wi-Fi. Okay, all right, okay. All right.
So he's home. He's doing his thing. He's trying to yell at her. Not trying to yell at her. He's telling her
spiders the size of men crawling on cars, spitting fire. Yeah. She's like, good one.
Yeah, we got to pack the bags. We got to grab the dog.
Yep. Honey, we don't have a dog.
We don't have a dog. Yeah, that's funny. And then he grabs he's got a shotgun. He grabs that, gives her some instructions, and then he's heading out to go grab their son Wyatt because he left the house before in a huff, and he's just out with his friends.
Yeah. Now, one of the good things and one of the bad things about this being so early in the movie, it's like I'm glad that they show him grabbing a ton of ammo to go with the shotgun.
Yeah.
But it's also, 10 minutes into the movie at this point. There's still an hour and 10 minutes left. He's probably going to need a lot more rounds than even what he's got on him, right?
100%.
I don't know. I'm glad that they showed that he was taking a bunch, but it's never enough.
It's never enough.
I'm holding this movie to too high of a standard. You're right.
I think you are. Yeah, I think you are. Just come into this side and let's just,
So we get to a sick BMX sequence, right?
BMX. Yeah.
Very 90s feeling.
Yeah, actually. I was like, BMX. Is that still a thing? Are people,
no.
Are you sure? I don't know. I think people
probably, but not like it was back then.
No.
The golden era of BMX.
Yeah. So we get the kids here. So Wyatt, Goots, Colton West's son, is hanging out with his three friends, right? It's two
all look like they're from the 90s. Like they all have like 90s haircuts. I was kind of questioning when this movie came out again.
And one of them was like, actually looked like he was probably grew up in the 90s. Like he looked like he was like 20 years
35.
Old.
Yeah. Yes.
So we get the three bros, and there's one girl, and man, when they were all hanging out in like the little circle, like, hey, what are we doing? We're hanging out, whatever. There was some serious Michael Bay circle cam stuff going on. Like, did you see that? It was just like,
oh yeah.
Whoa.
Not enough hacky sack. Too much Michael Bay.
Too much Michael Bay. Can you ever have too much Michael Bay?
No. Can you ever have enough hacky sack?
Yes. No. Yes, you can. Yeah, there's too much. You can't have too
much. So we got Wyatt, Travis, and Eli.
Yes.
And Jordan is the girl, right?
Yes. Yep. So they're hanging out. They're like, yeah, let's all hang out. And then we get a little, the two bros, Eli and Wyatt are hitting on the girl, basically.
Yeah.
Or
they're somehow
have like a little bro conference about how like, hey, we're both hitting on the same girl.
Which is really weird and frustrating.
Yeah, a little bit. But hey, I don't know. Maybe kids express themselves through having a conversation about that, but I doubt it.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I guess that's good, right? If they're talking about things instead of blasting each other in the face. Yeah. But also they're not, speaking of blasting each other, there's no earthquakes. It seems like they haven't been bothered by anything that's happening so far.
No, the earthquakes haven't hit where they are yet.
which like LA is not that big. Like, I don't know. Like it's big, but it's not like if an earthquake happens, you're going to know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like we feel earthquake. Like, oh, every now and then there's a weird earthquake in New Hampshire, and then we feel it down here in Boston, or like I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sorry. I'm again.
Yep.
Trying to think too hard.
Yep. You're thinking too hard.
You're right.
Let the B movie wash over you.
Yep.
Okay. It's all right. It's okay. We'll get back to it. So I was kind of hoping that the two bros would just have like a BMX off for the girl, but that didn't happen. Kind of disappointing.
Same.
So, then we get to the explosion. There's some helicopters. And then we get to Goots driving back with the Goots.
Yeah. Back in Goots shoes. And I'm glad that they like made this scene. They gave me a little bit of the realism that I expected from this really crappy movie. And so like, oh, all of a sudden the street is hot. The street's too hot. He gets out of his car. There's like a sunken in lava pit in the middle of the street, and his shoes start to melt because it's hot, which makes sense. And then his tires explode on the car because it's hot. I like this. I like the realism that they're introducing. All of a sudden the movie has some stakes, right? Like things mean something when there's an element of realism that I didn't have before. I'm worried for Goots' safety.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So we got melting shoes, melting tires. We head back to at home with Nia there. Do we remember her character's name in the movie? Lydia West.
I would assume.
Because Colton's there. Yeah. So we're back at home, and now she's ditched the cell phone because like the lines are all busted down, and she hops on her landline here to call.
Is this Goots' mom?
No.
I thought this was her mother-in-law.
No. I think it was just a neighbor, I thought.
Oh, interesting. I could have sworn it was the mother-in-law.
Oh, no. Maybe. I don't know. But I just caught it was. No, that wouldn't make any sense because it's Leslie Esterbrooks. It's Sergeant Callahan from Police Academy.
Right. Goots' mom.
No.
just like in Police Academy.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen those movies? What is going on?
Yes. Well, the first one, I didn't see 5, 6, or 7. I don't think.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Damn it. Leslie Esterbrooks, there she is, and I was like, oh, cool. Maybe she's gonna be in this a little longer. She isn't. And you can see a lavalantula climbing in her back window, and then it's like she's like, hey, the dog's barking. I'm gonna go check on the dog.
Poor puppy.
Puppy gets toasted.
Mm-hmm.
Lavalantula just toasted.
Coco. He had a name.
in death, he has a name. Coco.
Yeah, rest in peace, Coco.
And then we just jump back to the kids biking around, right?
Yeah, I like that they show the dog getting smoked. Like for being TV-14, some of the blood was like a little graphic, right? Like there were a couple of things that were gorier than I thought would be allowed on some Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I skipped over that. Right, so the dog got toasted, and it's like they kind of go into this horror thing. I completely missed it. I completely skipped over this. So yeah, there's a lava
smoldering dog on the ground. Yeah.
Well, no, not that part, but Doris here, she gets smoked in the face in this scene.
Is it right? Oh yeah, I guess it's right now. Yeah,
because she's going to check on the dog. The dog is toasted on the ground, and there's a spider creeps up on the wall behind her, and then she turns around and just gets her face melted in. I was like, that's pretty hardcore. Which
was cool. Yeah, it was.
I was like, nice. All right.
I was like, oh, maybe like this is what they saved the graphics budget for.
And that's it.
Not the spiders.
Yeah. And then we're back with the kids, and they're hanging out at another sinkhole lava pit.
Just hanging out the hole.
Yeah,
like you do.
Too much goes on here. Shit goes a little bit bad. The girl gets snagged. Jordan gets snagged and starts getting pulled into the hole.
Which, like, why wouldn't you back away sooner? Like, this hole is nothing but trouble. Why would you stand anywhere near it?
Yeah, it should also be pretty hot, so their shoes should be melting too.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Consistency. I'll buy that. But who goes back for Wyatt? He goes back for and saves her, but she did get bit, which is important.
Yep.
Yikes.
Oof. Yeah, that other kid's gonna be pissed, right? Because he was trying to flirt with her, and he saved her life. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, man. Done.
But then we get back to Goots, and he's like walking down the street Hulk style,
Sunglasses, Hawaiian t-shirt, shotgun.
Right? Isn't that the Hulk song?
Yeah, something like that. I might have to cut something in there because that cut out on you. But yeah, okay.
Oh, damn it. Well, yeah, cut in the Hulk theme song.
I can do that.
Right, not the theme song, but the sad at the end when he's walking away trying to hitchhike. Remember?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm picturing right now, except he's strapped with this huge shotgun.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
And obviously no one's going to pick him up.
No, and then he waves down like a tour bus, like one of those double-decker tour, movie tour buses, whatever. Probably
Starline.
Yeah. And this whole scene was funny. Well, it wasn't funny. I don't know, but he kind of just takes advantage of this guy, Joe, who's the bus driver.
Who's this guy? He's in stuff too. We should have looked this up beforehand. I should have looked this up beforehand. He's definitely in stuff. He's another one where he's like definitely a minor character in every show on USA I've watched where characters are welcome. I don't know.
Ruben Pla.
As I live and breathe.
Yep, there he is.
Best known for everything. Look at all the stuff this guy's in.
1985 he started, and he's just been in everything since.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
Crushing it.
I might know him from Everybody Loves Raymond, actually.
Yeah, 'cause that's where you know everyone from.
As I Live and Breathe. Brazilian Isles. Oh, that's a funny show. Anyway.
Cool. A lot of stuff I got to do.
Yeah, I'm glad we did this.
So Joe's the bus driver, and the tour bus driver, and he just wants a photo with Colton.
And I love as soon as he steals the bus, everyone's cheering somehow.
Yeah.
Like, wait,
he just stole the bus.
He's cramming the bus right now. You can't cheer for this.
And he leaves Joe behind to his demise, probably. And then so everyone's fired up on the bus, and he's driving. He's stolen the bus because he's taking the bus to head downtown to pick up his kid, or head down. No, it's not downtown. Oh, no, yeah, he's heading downtown because that's where Wyatt is. He's downtown LA.
Right. Everyone thinks it's an action movie now.
Yep. Everyone thinks it's an action movie. And so they're all fired up. And we get a good line from a fan there.
Oh, Colton Bonsai.
Yeah, kid. Thanks, kid. Bonsai to you too. Love it.
Which, I don't know. I got offended at a few points in this movie.
Come on, stop it. Jesus. Christ.
So then we get back to the kids where we're BMXing. we're BMXing around Lavalantulas, right? Like this kid's up on his pegs, like getting up. He's not. I wish he was.
No, but they're at like an old studio warehouse or like a studio lot, I think, where movies were filmed or shot or whatever, which comes back later. But there's tons of spiders. They're all piling up now. The correct term is lavalantula, Russ. Right. Yeah.
The Mayan term is lavalantula.
Right. It's funny. I wrote spiders multiple times, and then I kept like editing it, and I missed one here. But it's like I kept changing. Like, no, they are lavalantulas. They're
lavalantulas.
Spiders are normal. These are not.
This is very specific.
Yes. So then they see the lavalantulas coming in, and Wyatt's like, "Oh, let's get in the warehouse, right?" So Jordan, the other kid there, and they start heading in, but Eli's stuck behind in his BMX, and he decides to jump over like a trash can.
Sick jump.
He's halfway up, and then he gets hit between a lavalantula fire spit and a spider just fucking grabs him midair. Boom.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. Sick jump, brah.
Like it reminds me of like an SNL bit where they're like, oh no, like they don't have the budget to do a cool jump like that. So they have someone go off a jump and like throw a dummy. Like, that's what it looked like. When he's like midair and the spider grabs him, and it's like, oh, that was a piece of plastic.
So then they get inside the warehouse. Eli is toast. And so we get the two bros there, and Jordan are inside, and she got bit, and it is not looking good.
No, this is another part where I was saying the graphics were graphic. Like the spider wound looks terrible.
Yeah, it looks rash. So
pretty gross.
He's trying to clean it up, whatever. The other friend got burned on his arm, a little scorch.
Travis, yeah. And the whole time he's walking around like the whiniest character, like, wait, it bit you? What bit you? And the other guy's like, I don't know, man. And he's like, well, it hurts so bad.
Yeah, it's like, come on, shut up.
Look at how mangled that girl's leg is. What are you complaining about?
Seriously. Whatever. So we cut back to also, were the commercials really loud for you?
They're
No.
upsettingly loud for me.
Did you watch on your TV? I watched with headphones on my laptop or my computer.
Oh, weird. Yeah, no, I watched it on my TV like a real person.
Why is that weird?
Why wouldn't you watch it on your TV? You're
I sat here and I split the screen with my notes in the movie.
You're a grown ass man.
What do you have? IMDb TV on your TV?
No, I have Amazon Prime TV on my TV, and I went to the smart app on my Vizio. Shout out to Vizio.
Jesus.
The Amazon Prime app. Shout out to Jeff Bezos. And I watched it right there, nice and easy.
All right. Yeah, I guess I could
like a grown up. And then I took notes on my phone.
I was
again.
You second screen.
Yeah, asshole. Grow up, dude.
Anyways, so the mom, Nia, she heads over to Doris's house. Doris was Leslie there from Sergeant Callahan. Her face got toasted off. Her dog's toast. Everything's toast there.
Rest in paradise, Doris and the puppy.
Nia Peoples, Head Peoples, aka Lydia West, heads over there to check out what's going on.
Okay, yeah. I was like, Nia, what do you keep saying Nia for? And I forgot that's her name.
That's the actress's name. We always have this problem. Like, do I call her by the character name or by the whatever? Doesn't matter.
Tomato.
So they get over there and spiders are just eating away at the dead body.
Why is it eating her like that? Like, I don't think that's how spiders eat.
I think they just wrap them up and let them decay, right? And I don't know.
What do I know? Yeah, I'm not a spider expert. If you're a spider expert, send us an email. What is it called? Arachnitologist.
I'll buy that.
Yeah, if you're an arachnitologist or know what the correct term is,
hit us up. Yeah, and then that's pretty much that. It's kind of quick little scene, right?
And and that's when all of a sudden Lydia realizes that she has some concern for her son. She's like, "Oh, wait a second, Wyatt's still out there somewhere."
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Where have you been? Like that's all the Goots has been trying to do for the last 40 minutes of this movie. Grow up.
Oh man. So then we cut back to the tour bus. We're on the tour bus, and this is where we get introduced to Chris.
Patrick Renna.
Thank you. I was like trying to remember his first name. I was like, Patrick Renna. So we get Patrick Renna, Chris, aka the Sandlot Kid, shows up.
AKA his biggest fan.
Yes, he is Colton West's biggest fan. I'm pretty excited to be in this spot. So yeah, I don't know. We get a little back and forth between them. Some good lines here. You know, Goots is trying to tell the people to calm down, sit down, whatever. And Chris is just like, yeah, I don't know. 90% of these people don't speak English.
Which, if you don't speak English, why would you take a tour bus where they're going to be announcing things in English? Like, that doesn't make much sense to me.
Tourists.
I get that was the joke, but come on. Yeah, like the in-movie logic doesn't make any sense.
Be better.
Just try a little harder, right?
Yeah.
And also, how can Goots drive this bus? Buses are hard to drive, and he's being really reckless. He's driving very fast, whipping around corners. The bus is huge. This is a giant, double-decker bus, right?
You know, a movie, if that's how you feel, you know, a movie you'd really hate?
Spice World?
Speed.
No, I love Speed. Speed makes perfect sense.
She's just a regular passenger.
Well, yeah, but she's just driving in a straight line.
Is she, though?
Mostly. She's not navigating, this isn't like tight turns in the LA hills.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. She's just driving a straight line when she jumps over that section of the highway that's missing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
No, that's fair. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. No, all right. I buy it.
Yeah. You know what? Speed's not a great movie either.
It's not.
Our standard is Speed now. Good. I'm glad we've lowered our standards that much.
Yeah, bring it down a notch. So then, they're on the bus. Lavalantulas show up on the bus. And this is where we get the line. Of course they do. And this is where we get the line from the trailer. Chris takes over driving. Goots pulls out the shotgun, blows one away, and no fare, no ride.
Yeah, no terror, no ride.
And there was a good line of I don't know what started this conversation, but Colton took over driving again. He's like, Chris, you know the difference between real life and movies? And Chris is just like, no.
I love it.
I was like, all right, that's pretty good.
That probably was one of the best lines in the movie for sure.
Yeah. It's like, no.
And also, is he expecting Chris to drive the bus now? Like he lets Chris drive while he's trying to get after that Lavalantula.
I don't think so. I think he's prepared to switch back and, get downtown. So
and I'm glad that the fans were here. I really appreciate everyone cheering around him, and it makes the movie more enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm really sad. I hate this movie so far.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm still on board with it. I'm actually still okay with it. You know.
Okay. Yeah, that's your prerogative.
I gotta defend it to the end now. So I still gotta do that. I'm still trying to. So then we're back with the kids, back at the warehouse, the studio warehouse there with the kids. Great line from one of the kids, just kind of a little nudge to all you millennials out there. You know, how are we supposed to know what's going on outside with no cell service?
Yeah. You're a millennial, Russ.
Barely. Come on. Don't put me in the same category as you.
Don't alienate our core audience, which is us. As far as I know.
Damn it.
As far as I know, people between what is millennials now? 25 to 40?
I don't know. It's like it's too big.
Yeah, it's all the people that we're trying to reach. So if you're a millennial, let us know. Send us an email.
So not much here happens. They're just like they have a plan like, hey, let's head to the roof. I don't know.
There's a nice little we got a nice little bit of backstory here with what's his face Wyatt talking about Goots bringing him to work when he was a kid, and he's like, oh yeah, I used to like go hang out on the movie studio sets and it was super fun, and it was nice. It made Goots seem like a real person for a change.
Yeah, see, man, I'm telling you, this movie's got heart. So then,
and we examine her bite, and I really, at this point, I was like, I hope she starts to transform into a lavalantula, because she's like complaining about the bite constantly now.
Yeah. I knew. I was like, at this point, I was like, yeah, she's toast, and spiders are gonna come bursting out of her.
Yeah, and like, but also, why are the lavalantulas being they seem way smarter than we're led to believe. Like I assumed that they were stupid like spiders. But the movie implies that they're.
Have you met a dumb spider?
Plotting. Yes. Also, they don't think. They're not people. I don't know. They're not dolphins.
They seem pretty smart to me for, what they got going for themselves.
That's just because you hate them.
No, yeah. If anything, I'd say they're dumb. I don't like them.
Oh, they don't know anything that's going on. And these spiders are like actively trying to get, like, they're like hunting these people, which you're like, wait a second.
I think it's because they spotted them going in there and they're just like, oh, food. I'm heading towards that.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I forgot you were defending the movie.
I think I'm 3 for 3 in the defense here.
Well, yeah, you be the judge, listeners. Tell us if Russ actually succeeded. He did not.
Can't. That's not how that works.
Oh, I think it is the People's Court. This is the People's Court. Shout out to People's Court. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. So we're back at the house with Nia there.
Yeah, more news. And they're like, only in Hollywood do we get lavalantulas overrunning.
Yeah. Spiders like these, just like the spiders from Spiders 3D.
Like the blockbusters, Spiders 3D.
Great. And then there's a spider in the house. And this is where Nia Peeples, Lydia West there just kicks ass. She's not messing around right here, right?
No. And like as soon as the chimney starts to get a few little coal things in it, I knew lavalantulas were coming, right? Like, look out, Lydia. But she held her own.
She held her own. She had a shield. She took all the props basically from Colton West there on the wall.
At the same time, though, why didn't the lavalantula kill her immediately? Because if you can spit fire, you could definitely have killed her immediately.
I mean, you said they were dumb, so I mean, they didn't know any better.
Well, but they were proven to be smarter a minute ago.
Okay.
I don't know. Inconsistent. She's like whipping ninja stars at the spider.
You know what's really pissing me off is these lavalantulas. Their inconsistent genius here is just really pissing me off.
Yes, exactly. Yes, thank you. If you're gonna be a lavalantula, at least be consistent with yourself halfway through the movie. This movie's already stupid enough. Like, don't make it any dumber.
Oh my god. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And she kicks ass, and she, I don't know, blasts that spider away, right?
Well, they keep a loaded gun in a glass case for some reason. You're like, wait a second, is this a prop gun? Because why is it loaded? Nothing makes sense.
That one had me too. I was like, why is that gun loaded? Why, if it's a prop gun?
Yeah, she's in a battle with this lavalantula, a lot of back and forth. At one point, there's a shield that it tries to melt through. At one point, it's like spitting fireballs at her that somehow don't kill her. And then she tries to break through the glass, and she can't. And then the lavalantula breaks through the glass for her to give her access to this shotgun that's inexplicably loaded.
It all works out. And then she just, lock and load.
Yeah, hate it.
I love it.
And then back to the bus. We're like, oh, all right, bring me back to speed at least.
Still on the bus, but now the bus is melting. I think they're now at Hollywood Boulevard at this point, right?
Well, Chris, the smartest person in the movie, is like, oh, what do you think's in their blood? And he's like, why do you ask? He's like, well, it looks like it's melting through the truck. Like, what happens when it hits gasoline?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and Colton's like, I don't want to study them, Chris. I want to kill them. Great.
So stupid.
I love it. So they evacuate all the people, the tourists on the bus. They run away, and then the bus explodes.
Yeah. Completely. And dear listener, we're like coming up on the end of what will inevitably be part 1. At this point, we're 30 minutes into the movie. Yeah. The movie is not even is almost exactly a third of the way over.
Yeah.
How? I want give me more foreplay. I don't know. This movie is going too fast and too slow at the same time.
No, man, you just get to it. This is what you do. Get right into it. Come on. And then we do get a great line here, though. Another meta line here.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
I know you did. So then they're sitting there on the sidewalk, Chris and Colton sitting next to each other, and Chris is like, oh, man, you saved us. Oh, yeah. And Colton drops this great line. I didn't save anyone. We still have Act 2 and Act 3 to go. Come on, man.
Right, which it's about a third of the way in, so fair enough, I guess.
Right?
Fuck this movie.
That's pretty meta.
And again, 30 minutes in, that's like the second time that happened.
Yes, pretty much. And then we bounce back home at the West residence here, and we get another news update, some exposition of what's going on.
Did you catch the ticker underneath the news happening?
There's a ton of typos in that thing.
Oh, definitely. But then there's one line. I was like, Dodgers game postponed in rare volcano delay. Perfect.
Yep. And then this is the first time we get the title of the movie, I think. Right?
Yes. No, you're right. It is. Yeah. Lavalantulas. He said it.
Yes. And this is like, it's kind of like once you've broken the seal, it kind of continuously happens. I think we get the title of the movie like 3 or 4 more times, but we'll call them out when we get to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, not as, so, like definitely not as funny as I was thinking it would be. Or is that just the news updates in general you were talking about?
In general, everything about this movie, but also this part especially, where I was like, "Oh, lavalantulas!" Like I was hoping. So they give us a lot. I mean, we'll get to it, but they give us a lavalantulas explanation later. That's what I was hoping for. It seems like the press just coins this term. They're like, "Oh, well, you got these lava tarantulas." Wait a second, lava tarantulas. Huh. By God, lavalantulas.
Lavalantulas. They're caught up on their Mayan history.
Yeah, this movie's not funny. And I was like, this. I'm glad it's not that funny because this movie is actually bad enough for us to do.
Yeah, when I watched the trailer, I was like a little worried. I was like, oh, this might just be like, I don't know. Like we tackle bad movies that take themselves seriously, and this movie is definitely still not taking itself serious. But it's like it's not really falling in a category of like awesomely bad.
Right?
It's no Sharknado.
Well.
Which we've never seen
that. Yeah. Great point.
Yeah. So that's that. And then we head back to the kids, right? In the warehouse again.
And it's so weird that Travis is trying to flirt with Jordan. At this point, she's screaming in agony constantly about the spider bite on her leg.
Yes. Which is still not looking good.
No. And somehow Travis is like trying to make a move, which makes no sense, and Wyatt calls him out on it. And I love Travis's responses. It's my only angle. You're like, wait, this like the apocalypse is your angle? Like, this is dark times, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, if that's your angle, this is the time to shine. But
it makes no sense.
And then we get a shot of a larger lavalantula on the roof. So far, we've been seeing like these large ones, but this one is like.
I assume this was like the queen spider.
So I thought so too.
Right?
Yeah. No, it only gets bigger from there.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, they played it up a ton.
A little bit. And then we cut back to, I think, kind of like the West Home neighborhood, and there's a military truck pulling up, and basically the military is going to neighborhoods and like trying to evacuate people, get them in the trucks, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We got Rico and Lance, classic military names as they were. These guys are they're
given direction. Like, if you see any spiders, don't hesitate, shoot to kill.
Yeah. And when these guys go into Lydia's house there, the West House, they walk in, it's like they're, checking things out. Certainly not the Navy SEAL Team 6 from Alien Warfare.
No,
definitely not. Oh my God. And so, yeah, they're in there and looking around for survivors, and Lydia comes out and she's just
blasting spiders left and right.
Yeah.
She's a badass. Yeah.
Yes. She's total badass.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. She's geared up like Rambo and just ready to go. And yeah.
Yeah. And at this point, I'm thinking this movie has nowhere to go but up because it's been so bad. I'm assuming what happens next is getting to the climax, right? At this point, we're about halfway through.
Yeah. I mean, we're directly halfway through the movie. In my perspective is defending this movie, I can only picture us going down because it's been so good, the start of it.
Yeah, sure.
See what I did there? See what I'm
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
I'm not at all. I have to defend it. I'm taking the defense.
Yeah, I know.
It's paining me because
this is how we break up.
This is it. Lavalantula.
This is the movie that broke us. Lavalantulas are Yoko Ono.
Oh my God. So that's a good point. I think that's a good spot for us to kind of pause here for episode part 1, I should say. And then we'll get into part 2 on Thursday. So thanks for listening. And in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That. And we're also ITMT Pod on Twitter.
Yep. Or if you're feeling old fashioned, you can send us an email at itsthismeetsthat@gmail.com. You can always find all of our episodes on itsthismeetsthat.com.